to make this video for you so you can know me and know something about the history of lifeguards in Ecuador. I'm actually the director of Project Ecuador in Ecuador. I live here in Playas where I'm making this video for you, and I want to tell you how we start as lifeguards and how I get involved with lifeguarding. I'm a lifeguard since I am 17 years old. I was trained by Paul, thank you Paul, and some American volunteers who came here in 2008, 2 years ago.
I live in the city of Playas, province of Guayas, since I was 10 years old, and I have no memories about having lifeguards in our beaches until 2007, when Paul and a group of American volunteers came down and trained a group of local guys to become lifeguards. These guys were volunteers for almost a year for the Camera of Tourism in Playas. In February 2008, Paul came again with other volunteers from the Long Beach Lifeguard Association and trained me, my brother Miguel, and 8 other guys. By this time, the City Hall of Playas, Rodrigo Correa as the mayor, hired 10 lifeguards for the city, and Programa de Ordenamiento de Playas, known as POP, hired 10 more lifeguards. We were given uniforms and equipment donated by Paul and the Long Beach Lifeguard Association. It was the second year Playas had lifeguards during the whole year. The Navy also helped the lifeguards managing the discipline and schedules. By April of 2008, I started a 6-month course of government and political management in the Catholic University, sponsored by the George Washington University. In this class, we had to make a project for graduation, so I decided to focus on creating an institution of lifeguards for the Ecuadorian coast. I told about this to Paul, and he told me he was planning to keep coming to Ecuador to help us training lifeguards and giving equipment. So we joined our efforts, and Paul created Project Ecuador. I started working here in Ecuador in order to get support from the government to create this national lifeguard institution. I knocked on many doors, and the first was the Ministry of Tourism in Guayaquil. The head of the office was architect Esteban Delgado. He was really enthusiastic with the project and gave us the support to go to Santa Elena for Carnival of 2009. In the beaches of Santa Elena, there were already a group of 70 lifeguards, but they didn't have equipment or uniforms, and they used to work part-time hired by the city and as volunteers too. So for the Carnival of 2009, we counted with the support of the City Halls of Playas and the Tourist Ministry of Santa Elena with Ricardo Camacho as the director. This year, Project Ecuador went to Playas in the Guayas province and the beaches of Libertador, Montañita and Olón from the Santa Elena province. We had more than 30 American volunteers from different lifeguards associations from California, and all Ecuador knew about it because Project Ecuador transcended on the national newspaper. Carnival ended and the American volunteers went home, but there was still a hard work to do with the government. Unfortunately, Esteban Delgado was removed from the Ministry of Tourism in Guayaquil, so I needed to start all over again. 2009 was the year of general elections. It was a year of political transition. For Carnival of 2010, we decided to expand Project Ecuador to other beaches. So I started introducing the work of Project Ecuador to the Manabí province, up north of Santa Elena. The provincial government of Manabí, with Mariano Zambrano as the prefecto, hosted us in the beaches of Manta City and Crucita. In Manta City, there were already 2 groups of lifeguards. One was managed by the Navy and the other group managed by the fire department, where we stayed as volunteers during Carnival. These 2 groups of lifeguards had some equipment and also uniforms. In Crucita Beach, there was already a group of volunteers. For this Carnival, Project Ecuador also went to Santa Elena province, particularly to Montañita Beach, but we didn't have the same support from the local government as the past year. In Playa City, Rodrigo Correa was gone and the new one was not interested in lifeguards at all. Our director, Brigitte, can tell the experiences she had trying to get an appointment with him and some support to help the local lifeguards. But finally, I think we had a sweet revenge. She can tell it better than me. This same year, in a historical date, February the 17th, a date that I won't forget, Paul and I had a meeting with Jorge Proaño, Subsecretario de Seguridad y Planificación Turística, Security and Planation Touristic, from the Ministry of Tourism in Quito. He agreed on having a national training, on creating the Lifeguard Association, and hiring lifeguards in every beach. It was what we have been waiting for the past 2 years, so it was mission accomplished. Unfortunately, a few months after, he was removed, and the new officers passed the post to a new government office, Secretaría Nacional de Riesgos. I started contacting these people, and I first met the provincial director of Santa Elena, Juan Antón, and he liked our help and our goals, but he told that I need to meet the Subsecretario de Respuesta, Felipe Bazán, in Quito. I met him twice. I gave him all the information. He looked like he was interested, but then he told me they didn't have the budget to support a national training. But I didn't give up. I promised Paul we were going to have this training, and it has to be like that. From the City Hall of Salinas, Pedro Vera started pushing Juan Antón in order to have the training, at least only for the city of Salinas, in the province of Santa Elena. And after many meetings, Juan Antón, the director of Santa Elena, agreed on having this training, even without the support of the Subsecretario from Quito. So we have the auditorium, transportation, and all the logistics needed to make this training. From the province of Esmeraldas, at the north of my country, and from the province of Morona Santiago, in the Amazon jungle, I have received mails and calls asking to be part of this training, so they're sending their top 5 lifeguards to get trained. Our goal for the lifeguards in Ecuador is to have them been trained under international standards, to create Salvavidas del Ecuador, which would be a national association formed by the top lifeguards of each province, and this association should apply to be part of the International Life Saving Federation. This way, Ecuador can become a country concerned with beach safety.
To introduce you something about me, I'm a 20 years old Ecuadorian girl. I was born in Quevedo Los Rios, which is a province in the central coast of my country. I lived 10 years in Quito, the capital, at the highlands, and then I moved to Playas with all my family when I was 10 years old. Here I attended high school, and after high school, when I graduated, I went on vacation to the US. I went to Tampa, Florida, and to Chicago, Illinois, and I really enjoyed this place since I love it so much, and I'm so sad that I can't be there right now in California with you, but anyways, I'm here making this video for you. After these very deserved vacations in the US, I came here and I was trained as a lifeguard with Paul and the American volunteers, and then after that I started law school in Guayaquil, where I live right now with my brother Miguel, and I am missing 1 year to graduate from law school. I really enjoyed being part of Project Ecuador. It's been a hard work, but I really love this because I do it for a cause. This cause is to help the country to have lifeguards. And in the backside of having lifeguards, there is a complete story that most of us don't know. These lifeguards will have a job, and they will be able to support their families. Most of the Ecuadorian lifeguards have no possibility to go to the university and get an employment. So this is a way they can have unemployment, get paid, and be part of the economically active society. It is more than saving a life in the beach. It's a complete story in the backside. the past 3 years since Project Ecuador is helping here in our coasts. Our beaches will be safer, the tourism will increase, and people who live from the tourism will be also benefit of this. So having lifeguards in our beaches, for me, it means more than saving a person on the beach. And I will always thank all the American volunteers that have traveled here to my country to help us making this possible, and to all the people that has made donations to make this help possible. And I cannot forget, on behalf of our friends from the beaches from Playas, Montañita, Libertador Bolívar, Manta, Crucita, they all want to say thank you to you for all your help, and please enjoy this fundraiser. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thanks a lot for you. Bye!